Sit down. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I shared last week that I have some exciting news to tell y'all, but I'm not going to tell you quite yet. You'll have to wait towards the middle end. I'm not going to tell you when in the video because then you'll fast forward, so you just have to watch the whole thing. But I have my sister-in-law Bailey here with me. Fun little background story on us. We were actually best friends before she married my brother, and so she loved me first.
Yeah, Chelsea always says I was the first Garner she loved.
It's true. We were besties, and she always kind of liked my brother, but
Yeah.
I guess it took her maturing some, and her getting older.
Yep.
And then my brother's like, "Ooh, who's that?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's my best friend."
Yeah. We've been planning for 4 years.
Yeah, since
to
junior
get
high.
Oh man.
But yeah, and so I just wanted to bring her on today. I said in my very first my very first video that I put out that the fourth Friday of every month I wanted to bring someone else in and kind of share their testimony and their story with the Lord. And so that's why I brought her in today. I'm just going to ask her some questions and she will answer them. It's going to be a little bit more about marriage, because we both got married super young.
Mm-hmm.
I was 20 when I got married. How old were you?
I was 19.
19.
Mm-hmm.
So we were...
Yeah, we were babies.
Yeah. I didn't see myself as a baby when I got married. I don't know. Did you feel like you were super young?
Well, I recognized that I was super young, but it kind of just falls back on that old saying, when you know, you just know. And it just got to a point with Chris and I where we both couldn't see each other living apart. But I do always get told that we're the babies, or why did you get married so young? Those questions always pop up.
Yeah. I feel that too. My first question that I wanted to ask you was, what was it like getting engaged at 18?
It was exciting, more so exciting than anything else. I wasn't scared. I didn't feel fear, but that kind of goes back to I knew it was the right person. And for me, my parents were divorced when I was little, so I wasn't going to put myself in a position where I would be forced to marry someone that I wasn't compatible with. That always was really, really important to me. But yeah, I'd say the overall feeling was excitement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess connecting, I got engaged at 19, so you got engaged at 18. We were just a 1 year difference.
Yeah.
But as we kind of talked about a little bit earlier, I didn't see myself as being young, but now when I look at 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds, I'm like,
yeah,
I got married at that age.
Yeah. I was telling Chris and I were just talking about this, and I was telling him because he's 4 years older than I am.
Chris is our husband, my brother.
Yeah. So, and he's gone through pretty much all of his maturing, and so
it's not gonna get any more mature.
Yeah, and no,
he's stuck here.
Yeah, he's a child. No, but we were just talking about that, and I feel the same way. Now that I look back on it, it is whoa, I got married super young, but I don't look back on it and think of it negatively. It's just wow, we did do that super young,
Yeah,
you know?
that was kind of like my next question I was going to ask you. Not like, do you regret being married to Chris, but like, do you ever regret or wish you would have waited until you're older to get married?
Yeah. For me, I wouldn't wait, personally. Yeah. Well, if it's the right person.
Yeah.
Because we do have some friends that they didn't, you know, like, most of our friends still are single or dating, you know, in that stage of life. And, like, I recognize that us getting married young just doesn't happen often. Not without some other things going on, which are not bad either, but that's just, like, we just loved each other and we wanted to do it. And looking back, whenever I look back on it now, I think of like the adulting responsibilities, and I think, okay, am I ready for those? So like, am I ready to have kids in the next 5 years? Am I ready
How long
to
have
get
you been married?
3
2 more years.
Yeah, 3. No, but
I'm
we're
holding you
gonna,
accountable to that.
when Chris turns 30, that's whenever we're gonna start trying
No,
to
you
have
said
our
5
first.
years and
Well,
it's been
5
3.
No, in the next, well, from now on.
I
Yeah,
thought you meant
from
from
now.
being
Yeah. No. Well, that's what I was thinking too, because like at first Chris said like in between 30, and so it's like, okay, he has 4 years until he turns 30, so I'll be his age. I'll be 26. Yeah, and so it's just like, am I ready to have kids at 26? And I know you are. Yeah.
You are too.
Yeah, and I am, but it's the more so like the responsibility is what where I question myself, because I've always wanted that compatible friendship, the intimacy and the love of marriage, and finding that partner, and just doing life with them, whether it's traveling, having kids, and taking care of life. But yeah, I'd say like for me, it's just like, now looking back on it, okay, am I ready to have kids, get a house, really, really take on those responsibilities? And that's kind of where I get scared sometimes.
My joke is always that I'm gonna pray for her to accidentally get pregnant when
Yeah.
I get pregnant.
Yeah.
So we can just be pregnant at the same time.
Yeah. So
we'll see. Okay, and then the last question that I just wanted to ask you is, what is your top advice, like marriage advice, for someone who is getting married young?
Yeah, so you need to figure out your communication. I'd say that's the most important thing. Like, if you want a happy and like more like friendship type marriage, the communication has to be there. Also, if both of you are young and around the same age, I think it's really important that maybe before you get married, even though it's hard, but you do have to think about, okay, well, what do we both want to do in 30 years? Because if you don't assess that at first, and then you get into a marriage, you know, and maybe 10 years goes by and one of you wants to buy a house and the other doesn't, then you're gonna have a big issue to overcome with each other. But communication, having the same lifestyle goals, and not everything has to be the same, but the big things, and same faith, and having the same beliefs, like especially if you're a Christian, because then, you know, it's kind of supposed to be like that equally yoked thing.
That's good.
Same beliefs.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much.
welcome.
Like the video if you want more videos like this, and if you want to hear her opinion on it more, because we both, I mean, she's been married for 3 years, I've been married for 2.5. We got married the same year.
Yeah.
And so we did everything, just step in step together.
Hopefully not the kids part.
No, that too is gonna happen. It's inevitable. I'm sorry.
No.
But yeah, we'd love to talk more about it, and we're both really passionate about having a healthy marriage, having a happy marriage, and just a marriage that's like focused on Christ, which Christians say a lot, but what does that actually mean is a big thing too.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you.
Okay, so now probably what you've been waiting for, this exciting news that I said I am ready to share with y'all. I believe this is like video 5 for me starting this new YouTube ministry and just learning the ins and out. And I've already decided to change what I am doing with it. Originally, this whole platform is really just faith-based with faith topics. But what I have found is teaching faith topics can take a long time to prep, which is okay, but I don't really want to take the role of a preacher or like a pastor. That's not what I want to do on here. I do want to share with y'all things about the Bible that will help with your faith, but it's not necessarily a platform that you would come watch as if you would watch something like The Porch or listen to a podcast like that. And so I'm stepping a little bit away from that because one of that reason, and it just takes a long time to prep. I don't want to take that role. But I love sharing my faith and I love being on here. And so what I am switching it to is it is going to be more geared towards marriage and really my story through marriage. And so I got married when I was 20 years old. I'm 22 right now, so I'm not that much older. But this channel is going to be dedicated to really like the young married life and how faith has played into that, and just encourage people in that way. And so if you're not married, it's okay, because you can learn about marriage, you can learn tips about marriage and what I learned that was right and what I learned that was wrong, and just how God worked in me and through my marriage in that. And so this can be for single people, but also I really want this to become a channel and just a ministry of people who are married and get married at a young age, because the average age for a woman to get married is 27, and for a guy it's 29. And so people like me or like my sister-in-law who get married super young, there's not very many of us. And so I want this to be a page where people can come and identify with and just have a community of others who also got married young, and know that it's 100% possible to get married young and love the Lord and have a thriving marriage. Statistics sometimes go against it. They say the younger you get married, the higher you are for higher chances you are for divorce. But I don't believe in that, because I know that I love the Lord, and I know that I'm going to fight for my marriage, and that I want y'all to fight for your marriage, whether you have one now or you don't have one. Entering into like the covenant of marriage is very important, and God takes that very seriously. And so I'm not saying I'm perfect, my marriage is not perfect, none of that, but I want us to fight this journey together, and I just want us to have fun on this journey together, because being married young is a huge blessing that I'm so incredibly thankful for. And God has just rocked my world. But I do wish that when I first got married, I had more people to connect with that were my age and were going through what I was going through, because there wasn't very many people. Mostly everyone was older than us. They were out of school. I'm still in school. My husband's still in school right now. And so we just didn't have a lot of people to identify with. So that's kind of why I just wanted to switch this channel to young marriage for different people, because it's going to help in that way. Anyways, I'm excited. It's still faith-based, and so it's just I'm funneling in a little bit more to married people, and specifically more so married women, because it's my experience. There'll be a little bit of Blake's side on it too, but yeah, that's what I have to share. I cannot wait to make more videos over it. I've already got a lot of ideas of what I want to record. If you want to know anything more about marriage, or what it was like being married young, or just like specific challenges that you've thought about or maybe that you're going through, send me a message and I will love to talk more about that. Thank you for listening, subscribe, and I will see y'all next week with a little bit new and different theme. Bye guys.